I really didn't want to make this video. Truly, I didn't. But this has been nagging at me all day long. And you know what? I had it. It's 6 a.m. in the morning here where I am right now, and I'm pissed. As if you don't know me by already, look at the channel name and you'll know. I am the boss, the man of RCCW, the Rick C. Rick CMC, Glorious Rick C, whatever you want to call me. I have many aliases. And I come today with a bit of a State of the Union address when it comes to the Claw. I got a few things I want to get off my chest, and I'm going to do it here because I have the freedom to do it and post it anytime I want because, my channel. About a week ago or so, the Bully and his boys, John Cook and Anthony Lennox, put out a video entitled Brute Force Gives Back. They announced a special Q&A session where they would answer the questions of fans and even peers alike. And so, me being me, I obviously left a question. A question asking the Bully how it felt that he was the Lord Mirage of VGW, leading two regimes in VGW's Brute Force and CAA's New Era, built on pillars of lies, bitterness, and pettiness. How it felt that he would eventually be torn to the ground just like the regime, just like all who have ever stepped to the Claw before. How it felt that he would crumble to dust and he'd watch his empire fall. And he'd be the laughingstock of the virtual wrestling world. But Brother Just decided to duck the main meat of the question. Yes, he addressed the fact that he was the laughingstock at one point. He's been there, he's done that. I know. I do my homework, Bully. People can talk about, oh, it was creepy. No, it's just a dedication of learning the product. I want to learn what I'm watching. I want to learn about the past. I love doing my history checking. I know about all your past gimmicks. Gladiator, Iceman, whatever it was. You had the Goku hair. You've been through the ringer. I know that all good and well. But you didn't answer the question fully. How does it feel to be Lord Mirage, leading a regime based on lies, bitterness, pettiness, and all of it starting over the fact that somebody didn't get their way and they had to go cry about it, and now they gotta start some kind of, oh, there's a conspiracy, we need to get rid of some of these people aren't worthy bullshit. How does it feel to know everything you stand for is a blatant lie? Is blatantly not out of anyone else's interest but your own. You don't even care about your boys Lennox and Cook. You only care about them because they are your numbers. They're your little enforcers to enforce your rule over VGW. And it sickens me to my core to see that those two boneheads were actually dumb enough to listen to you. What? Things weren't going you guys' way, so you just had to listen to the Bully? Or maybe you realize he doesn't give a damn about you. Maybe you realize that you're using him just like he's using you as a way to get title gold. At the end of the day, all champions come to an end. All three of you are gonna fall. But the Bully continued. He wanted to bring up my glowing robe. He wanted to bring up how the CCs need to wipe their feet before they enter. And then he brought up the fact that I was the quote-unquote Marty Jannetty of C4K. Haha, very funny. You're adorable, Bully. Haven't heard that one 500 million times. And about 499,000 of them were for myself. In my times of darkness, when I looked in the mirror and said, I'm not as good as Noah. Oh, what am I going to do? I'm just a clown. No. I took all of that. I took my wants and desires and my need to be on top where I belong. And I used it to hang up that glowing robe you wanted to make fun of. Take that glowing cowboy hat, put it on my desk, and don a headband, a t-shirt, and a pair of tights, along with some hand tape and some actual wrestling boots, instead of black and green tennis shoes. I'm taking myself as a serious wrestler now, not just a commentator, not just a company owner. I'm going to live up to all that potential that I've been told I have, and I'm going to be VGW World Champion when that time comes. But you want to bring up the Marty Jannetty thing. That's all cute and dandy, but you fail to realize that's not even the case. C4K is one of those rare examples of a tag team that don't have a Marty Jannetty. Because with what Noah has in his amazing Intercontinental / Global title reign in VGW, I make up for in notoriety across CAW. When people ask, do you know Rick C? When they ask, do you know about RCCW? The answer, 9 times out of 10, yeah, I know what that is. I've seen that around the block. I am noticed worldwide. I am known. What I make up for in my lack of championships, I make up for with being known as the guy who went through tide and turbulence and fought against all the hardships that was tossed his way by people who wanted to sabotage his product. The guy who conquered all of that and continues to go strong in this day and age. I made it to the promised lands already. All my hard work paid off. I'm in VW. That's all great and dandy. But you see, Bully, while you've been over here making fun of people for their sexuality and getting beat the crap out of for it, being a lackluster, boring, long drawn out United States champion who made that title look like a fucking joke, all because he wanted the world title and he refused to cash in until right this moment. While you've been doing that and also making head waves with your little group of lackeys and Lennox and Cook, talking about CCs need to go, CCs need to go. When you say I was Marty Jannettying, in actuality, I was helping people get over. Yeah, or you've been trying to get these people out of your yard? I've been helping them elevate themselves beyond the yard. Let me just drop a few names. 2018, when I was the Extreme Champion of VGW, when I made that belt mean something. People who I faced in Glorious Domination, which, by the way, I still remain undefeated in such. Guys like Dean Freeman, Nate Express, even your boy John Cook, and so many others, I helped them elevate their careers to no end. Dean Freeman would go on to win the Next Gen title. Nate Express go on to win the tag team titles. John Cook, much of the same, would win an opportunity at the tag team titles and eventually win the tag team titles. Hell, you want to go back even further, a little bit more of an obscure one, Steven Henderson. I don't give a shit what any of you lowlifes have to say about Steven Henderson. That kid's got guts. That kid may have his moments of being a bit of a goof and it's a little bit cringy to see. Maybe he tries a little bit too hard to be funny sometimes. But hey, we all do. But at the end of the freaking day, that kid's got more heart in his pinky finger than a lot of you fake-ass motherfuckers got in your whole damn body. And Steven Henderson, without a shadow of a doubt, does have a bright future in CAW, whether you want to believe it or not. So go ahead and shake your head and mumble, oh, his finisher's generic, or oh, his promos are bad. Go ahead and mumble that. But when Steven proves you wrong, expect to be made a complete fool out of. Just like the Bully, just like Lord Mirage, Billy Bulldog, AJ Bala, all of them. Every single one of them. Oh, and speaking of the new era's Billy Bulldog and AJ Bala, another star that I helped make. The longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in VGW history, the Panther of CAW, the former president of the mid-card, Noah C. Now, let me just say this. Noah C. worked his ass off all on his own to get to that point, but who's the guy who brought him in? That's yours truly. I brought him here. I brought him into the Clawn, and I helped him every step of the way make him a star. When those moments came where he was worried and he was going to lose, I told him, no, you ain't going to do nothing. You's going to win. You're going to be the president of the fucking mid-card. You're going to be the Panther of CAW. Hey, I'm going to take this one. He's the ace of VGW's mid-card. I don't think there's ever going to be an Intercontinental Champion a lot like Noah. He held that title with an iron grip and he wouldn't let it go, even when he faced me, who dare I say, I was one of his biggest challenges, if not his biggest. But Noah always had that fear when he first came in, and eventually he would end up, just as the Bully calls me, the Marty Jannetty of C4K. But what did I do? I let Noah, I invited him into VGW, I let him have his big moment. He got that global title shot in the Rumble, and I let him go out there on his own each and every time and prove it time and time again. I could have gone out there like the protective big brother that I was, but no, I put my faith in Noah because I knew deep down inside he would prove everybody wrong. He'd prove his doubters wrong. He'd silence those doubters once and for all. And you know what he did? He did just that. He's the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in VGW's history, and there's not a damn thing anyone's going to do to change that. He's the Panther of CAW, a future VGW World Champion, future World Champion wherever he goes. And he's the farthest thing from the Marty Jannetty of the C4K, because like I said, there ain't no Marty Jannetty of C4K. There ain't never going to be a Marty Jannetty of C4K, because both the C4K are destined to be the world champions of not just VGW, but all of the clan. And it doesn't matter which one of us becomes the world champion first, because Noah, my brother, I love you deeply. But I think you'd say something similar to what I'm about to say in regards to the World Championship. Should I become World Champion first, you're going to have to live up to the epicness that was my world title reign, because I will be the greatest World Champion in the clan's history. But should the day come that you become World Champion before me, that just gives me more time to figure out how I can top you. A game of one-upsmanship is what C4K is all about. The never-ending reign of how Noah and Rick one-up each other each and every time. It'll just be like that over and over again until the end of time. But all it is, just a friendly, truthfully brotherly battle. Because at the end of the day, we have our strengths, we have our weaknesses, but we are C4K till the day we die. Just like everybody should be clawed till the day we die. Because people like you and people like CDD are over here going into business for yourselves and your own interests. Don't you realize we have a bigger enemy on board? Like I said, Mirage, the regime, people out to put us all on the streets? No, you don't want to think about that. You don't want to think about that. You're all nice and cozy being a lazy oaf, sitting in your origin company, not only letting the finger to the company that is helping you get your name out there even more. The company that could also be your gateway to maybe a grander stage, shall we say. But no, you don't want to do that. You want to be hopping the border, hopping the gate, hopping the fence every now and again, teasing you're with us, teasing you're with them, teasing you're with nobody. You know what, the bully? Fuck you. Fuck you, bully. Because people like you are making this war even harder on the clan. Do you really think Mirage is going to accept you into his ranks or keep you around should, God forbid, he win this war? No! He's going to take you out, just like he's going to take all of us out. He's not your friend because you're talking about him. He's your enemy, just like he's all of our enemy. Oh, but you know, this isn't the first time you pulled something like this, bully. I mean, 1 minute you're talking about how Amazonia has been your friend for years, and you're talking on and on about how, oh, this relationship with Lodestar's making her look weak, yada yada yada. But then a few months later, you're so quick to refer to her as, quote, the 8th blunder of the world. It doesn't stop there either, because you're 1 minute, you're talking about how Lincoln Loud, in his little bullshit crybaby ramblings, was right about Status, yet you're, just like him, repeatedly bringing up the controversy that me and Status, for the last 2 years, have tried to cover up. I'm not going to mention it by name because I'm sick and tired of it getting brought up, because the point of it is we're supposed to forget. But no, you two big piss babies keep bringing it up like it needs to be brought up. Forget it happened. It never happened. It's done and dusted. Jesus fucking Christ. Bottom line is, bully, you are the biggest fucking hypocrite in the entire CAW League of Nations. Hell, you may even be the biggest fucking hypocrite in the entire virtual wrestling world. I am so sick of this nonsense. We need to be united against this enemy, yet we have you, we have CDD, we have all these people not focusing on the bigger fish in the pond. We're fighting against each other when we should be fighting against the regime. Let me just put this real quick into basic facts that both you, bully, and CDD will understand. There is no conspiracy. VGW is not just the originals, nor is it just the CCs. VGW is those two groups together, working together to entertain these amazing fans and put on high quality matches and make these titles that we have and the name of video game wrestling mean something. I am sick and tired of this game of, well, they said, he said, they did, he did, yada yada yada. Shut the fuck up. We all see right through your bullshit. Both sides are wrong. You're not convincing anyone but yourselves that you're right. You are both wrong. VGW's foundation was created by the originals. They are the ones who built what VGW was in the past. The CCs, however, helped rebuild that foundation, add something new to it. And now it is the job of all of us together as CCs and originals to build the foundation as strong as it can possibly be. But what you have fucking morons like these two hacking away at each other's work and making the foundation weaker and weaker, eventually that foundation's gonna collapse. And I will die before I let Status's hard work go to waste like that. All because two ego-minded crybabies wanted to make a mess of his plans. I'm done with it. I have been rambling on for too long. My throat hurts. I need a drink. Bottom line is, how about instead of fighting each other, we fight alongside one another as brothers and sisters in arms? And we fight off the true enemy, the one who seeks to destroy everything we've worked all of our lives together to build. And that's Lord Mirage, his higher power, and his regime. With that, I'm closing my statement. Maybe, hopefully, I've opened a few eyes around the clan. I've opened a fighting spirit within all of us that maybe we'll put our egos aside and we'll fight this regime. We'll conquer this enemy and then we'll destroy one another. Because apparently we can't go 5 minutes without wanting to destroy one another. Basically, in layman's terms, let's work together so that we can destroy the real enemy. And then we can get back to the petty beef. But one final thing before I go, and that's to address one last statement the bully had to say. He said that the CCs should knock before they enter his turf. Well, bully, if VGW is your turf, sure, I'll knock that door. I'll knock it right off its hinges. And I'll take everything that you ever loved. That being the World Championship. Because it shouldn't be around your neck. It should be around the neck of somebody who can properly represent VGW. And that man is me. 2020, just like that Private Destiny briefcase, just like that VGW World Heavyweight Championship, and just like your ass belongs to Rick C.